Promise you a really good time, too, if you grab this book and read it from cover to cover. I only know who I am when I'm somebody else. My life on the street, on the stage, and in the movies. It is an honor to welcome to the program Danny Aiello. Danny, good morning.
Well, good morning, and thank you very much.
Well, thank you for...
Here with you.
Thanks for coming on the show with us. Been
Riley and Scott.
Riley and Scott. Been a big fan of yours for many, many years.
Thank you.
What prompted you to sit down and knock this stuff out? Because people, I think, really, really get a good look at who you are and what your life's about here.
Yeah, well, I was beat up by, should I say, an agent, a literary agent, badgering me for about a year because for the longest period of time I wasn't interested in writing a book. I thought if it was going to be a complete study of my life, I would have to hurt people, and I wasn't in a position to want to hurt anyone, so I decided not to do it. So for about a year she kept, come on. So she talked me into it. And I'll tell you this, it was the most stressful thing I've ever done in my life. Now, I begin the book at the age of 6, and I go through my entire life up and through and finishing my show business, which isn't finished yet because I'm still doing it. But going through all of that was one of the most difficult things I've ever done in my life. As I said, full of stress, trying to remember things at the age of 6. And then the troubles that I had with the police and so forth, then shooting pool, hustling pool, then going into the Army, then coming out of the Army, then marrying my wife when I should not have. I didn't even have a damn job, but we did it. Then shooting pool, hustling pool, then after that going into Greyhound and becoming a public address announcer, eventually the president of the union, losing that job as a result of a wildcat strike, walking, floundering around New York, with 3 children, no money coming in, walked into a place called The Improvisation on West 44th Street, one of the great comedy places. Rodney Dangerfield, Robert Klein, David Brenner, all came through there. And Bud Friedman, who was the proprietor of the place, recognized my talent, and he made me a bouncer. My career began. A fellow by the name of Louis LaRusso came in. He was a neophyte writer. He asked me to do a play. I said, what the hell am I going to do a play? I'm not an actor. He said, yes, you are. You just don't know it yet. And that one man was responsible for everything that's happened to me in the industry of show. He was the guy that did it. Had it not been for him, I was on a downward slide, and God knows where I would have ended up. But instead, because of him, I've had a successful career that continues on as we speak.
Danny Aiello with us. I only know who I am when I'm somebody else. That's the name of his new book, memoir. Right on the back cover, outsider. You're an outsider no matter where you are. Not a member of the Hollywood elite, working class. You had a whole bunch of life experience before you made it in Hollywood. What's it like working from the outside in? Do you have many close friends at all in the movies in Hollywood?
I have some friends, but in the movies it's very funny. You know, it's hard to call a person a friend. You may be with them on the set for about 10 days, even a month sometimes, and then, of course, you might not see him for 10 years. And we call each other friends. That's not a friend. Friends see each other off, and they call each other off, and that doesn't happen in our business. Our business, for the most part, is full of, well, you know what, and that's why I don't participate in Hollywood. They're different people. The friends that I have, maybe 4 or 5. On one hand, I can count them, and they all live around New York City. They're my true friends. I speak to them on the phone every day or every other day. We meet, we have lunch. Those are friends. But in the industry, you find very few. But we call each other friends, but it's BS.
Yeah, you've never struck me as, and I don't know you personally, and I certainly don't stalk you because I'm afraid of you. You don't strike me as being a showbiz guy. You strike me as being a blue-collar guy who shows up and does his job the way he's supposed to and then moves on to the next gig.
That's what I do, and also I'm a family man. The family means everything to me. My 4 kids, which are now 3. I lost my son Danny, a great stunt coordinator. I lost him in 2010 to pancreatic cancer. But my son Rick, my son Jamie, and my daughter Stacy exist. I have 10 grandchildren, my beautiful wife Sandy. And that means everything in the world to me. But of course, I can't wait, especially when I was hot in the business, working constantly in movies and stage. I couldn't wait to go to sleep at night so that I could get up in the morning and do what I'm doing, make a lot of money lying as a character, not me as someone else. And I just love, not the show business part of it, but I love the acting part. I don't know what else I could have done in life. Had I not been given this chance to become an actor, God knows where I would have ended up. I don't know. I know that I started acting at the age of 36. That was my first stage play. My first movie was the age of 40. And I went on to do 90 movies and about 27 stage plays. When I look back at that, I said, how is this possible? How the hell did this happen? Studied. I never did anything. I did it all on luck. When I first started acting, I couldn't put a sentence, an understandable sentence together. I worked on pure energy, and critics used to go crazy saying, wow, he's like a Brando. Brando, I didn't know what I was doing. Until I became knowledgeable. I kept doing, then I became an actor. Now, not an artist. I don't like utilizing that term. They use term artist to be an actor. I don't understand that. You can be an artist if you're a writer or a painter, but you can't be an artist as an actor. You just BS, you're just talking.
Of all the things
now,
of all the things you've done in this unbelievable tapestry of work, what's your favorite thing? When you look back of all the gigs you've had, what do you look back with the most fondness?
Well, I love singing because that's the closest to who I am. Because I'm Danny Aiello. When I get up, I'm introduced as Danny Aiello. It's the most frightening thing because you're Danny Aiello. You're singing. So if you're terrible, it's Danny Aiello who's terrible. Playing a character. I can blame it on the character. He said, I'm terrible. I said, sure, the character was a schmuck. Of course he's terrible. I can do that. The great feeling is of finally having the nerve to get up and sing. And I started that 10 years ago. And now I have 5 albums out. The last one just came out 2 weeks ago. It's called Blues Times 2. It's the first time I've attempted to do blues. But if you ask me what my favorite movie was, I did better movies than this, but my favorite is a movie called 29th Street. It is directed by George Gallo. Lainey Kazan plays my wife in it, and some wonderful actors in it. It's about a lottery. It's a Christmas kind of movie, and I love it because it's the closest character to who I am.
I got turned on to it when a friend of mine called me and said, you got to see this movie, 29th Street. He said, It's a Wonderful Life used to be my favorite Christmas movie. Now 29th Street is.
I love you. You know why? Let me tell you why I love what you just said. Robert Evans, he was a big producer of The Godfather, many years ago. Jack Nicholson, who I know he's not a friend, but I know he's a sweetheart. He's great. I get a call from Robert saying, we just saw your movie. I said, which one? He said, 29th Street. We watched it at my home, Jack and I. We loved the movie. If there wasn't as many curse words as there are in it, it would be as good as It's a Wonderful Life.
It is an outstanding movie. And, Danny, as popular as you are, there's other radio stations who are waiting to talk to you who will yell at us if we keep you any longer. Thanks for the generosity of your time. Thanks for the body of work. We're big fans. We appreciate it, and hope everybody buys this book, too.
And thank you so very much. I'm glad for the time I had with you.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Danny.